So I've made some videos on Rocket League records in the past, but the thing about world records is they're meant to be broken. And then there's always some people who come along and get really creative and create their own whole new records that you didn't even know were a thing. It's kind of amazing the things that people are able to accomplish in a fundamentally basic game of carball. Like, there really doesn't seem like there would be all that much here in such a simple game, but here we are, and people are doing things like hitting 42 flip resets and air dribbling for 17 days without water breaks. Okay, a little bit of hyperbole there. So today I'm going to bring you 10 more amazing Rocket League world records inside of our great carball game. So number 10 is by a guy on Twitter by the name of It's JBM, who says that he has the record for the most laps around the arena while doing wall wave dashes, or wall dashes, I guess. Either way, I've never seen anyone do this for such a long time, so I'm just gonna take his word for it. He does 2 full laps around an entire Rocket League arena while only doing these little bunny hopping wall nonsense things. It's hard enough to do this on its own, but to be able to control it and like to do it for this long just doesn't even make sense to me. I struggle to wave dash on the ground. He's wall dashing 2 laps around the field. Pretty insane. I still wonder if this could ever be useful in a game. Like, could you imagine what it would look like in an RLCS match if like some player didn't have boost and was just rotating around the entire pitch like this? I don't see it being like a more useful tactic than just getting boost and rotating back, unless somebody could turn this into some sort of weird like dribble, like dribbling on the wall. I don't know. We'll just have to see if we find like a practical use for it. So number 9 goes to a world record that I'm sure you guys have heard about, and it's related to flip resets. Double flip resets, triple flip resets. You might even remember Gainer getting up to like 10, 12, 14 flip resets. And I'm also sure that at this point you probably know who DLG is, especially if you watch my videos a lot because I've talked about him quite a bit. But in case you don't, he is a mechanical wizard of Rocket League from a faraway land where I do not know what the heck is going on. I guess DLG decided that he just wanted to go ahead and hit over 100 flip resets. No, I did not misspeak. The record before this was 14 or 15, although it's kind of a different record. In this case, he's getting 105 flip resets in a row without touching the ground, but they're not like consecutive chain flip resets. He is air dribbling in between to do it. I'm obviously not going to show you all 105 flip resets here because it took about 10 minutes of air dribbling into flip resets, but I do really recommend going to his video so that you can watch it. All of that stuff is in the description below for all these records if you want to check them out yourself. All right, number 8 is one that, yeah, it's DLG again. So for the world's longest air dribble, this one goes to DLG, which was at this point 3 hours. So he broke his own world record that he'd hyped up quite a bit, which was 2 hours. And I really didn't see him doing this, but apparently he just decided he wanted to go air dribble for 3 hours. I don't know. To put that into perspective, you could start watching the Titanic and let DLG start his air dribbling, and at about the time your movie is over, DLG will probably get bored of what he's doing and you'll be watching the ship sink. You could almost finish one of the Lord of the Rings movies, not the extended version, but the regular version. I often say that these just don't make sense to me, and I keep repeating myself, but it's really astonishing what he's done here. First of all, having the skill to be able to do this, to have the patience and focus to be able to air dribble for 3 hours and do nothing but air dribble, it's just insane. So while we're on the subject of most amount of time spent doing dumb things, the next record goes to our arch nemesis, our good friend, Sunless. Now, most of you have probably already seen this, but if you haven't, Sunless decided to break the world record for the longest ongoing game of Rocket League, with a bunch of guest appearances from other figures in the community. Sunless and the others involved managed to play Rocket League for 11 hours. Well, Sunless didn't play, but he was involved in it, before Sunless decided to quit like the coward that he is. Imagine going into a ranked game and you get into an overtime that lasts for 11 hours. How far into that do you just decide to own goal, like to save yourself, just to end this incredible, horrible, painful thing? I would never do this personally, but props to those who were involved. All right, here at number 6, this one comes from IFC_RL on Twitter. I've always been a big fan of pinches. I like pinches. I think pinching is fun. There's just something so satisfying about pinching the ball and the ball just flying off at ridiculous speeds, or hitting the ball and having it not pinch very fast at all. That's kind of frustrating. So the pinches that we see the least of are ceiling pinches. Very few people actually do this, but when they are executed successfully, they are a thing of beauty. LFC managed to hit a ceiling pinch that was 165 kph. Now I can't say for 100% certain that this is the fastest ceiling shot that has ever happened, but it is without a doubt the fastest ceiling pinch that I have come across. I actually really like the way that these look, and I think that they could be used competitively. Like, I'm definitely expecting to see somebody do this in the next couple years in RLCS. All right, let's talk a little more about pinches, just because I like pinches. FLuuMP or Philip_H hit this ground pinch that was 196 kph. Now this was in training and not in an actual game, and again, I'm not 1000% sure that this is the world record, but it's somewhere around there. Just seeing the amount of force and speed that the ball gets, it's like it just comes from nowhere. It's just unbelievable. These ground pinches are insane. The ball is at a standstill, and then all of a sudden, it shoots away like a literal rocket. Man, could just watch Rocket League pinches all day. Where's Cooks here when you need him to just hang out and watch some pinches, you know? All right, so this next one is a little weird. Again, of course, it comes from our friend DLG. I think he just has a thing for breaking records, apparently. The record is for the most amount of time spent consistently spinning underneath the ball while dribbling. DLG spends about 2.5 minutes just spinning underneath the ball, which is kind of making me dizzy the more that I watch this. I can't wait until DLG decides to break this record himself and spends like 2.5 hours spinning underneath the ball, because that's probably what's gonna happen. So the next record actually comes from a Musty video with Spuda and Virge, and this is the fastest goal to ever be scored in Rocket League. I believe this is the record. Maybe it's been broken since then, but whatever. With their combined efforts, they managed to score a goal that was 540 kph. 540. Just waiting for that ground pinch to hit 540. That would be pretty crazy. Virge technically got the goal, so big congrats to Virge on his world record. Nice job. The way they also hit it is pretty funny. They used a hockey puck in Rumble, and Spuda used his fist power thing while Musty and Virge sat in the net and both plunged the ball at the same time. So very creative here. All of this combined somehow managed to get the ball, or the puck, whatever, to get up to 540 kph, which doesn't even make sense. So number 2 goes to the world record for the dribbling challenge that Lethamyr made. It was so difficult. Some streamers and pros literally spent hours on it, and most ended up raging and just giving up altogether. But that kind of difficulty makes others persistent. And so some people started grinding the crap out of it. And one of them was a member of the Pulse clan named Rhezzy, who's just insane at Rocket League. He managed to finish the course in 14 minutes and 19 seconds. Now, if that doesn't sound insane to you, then you really should go download this course and give it a run for yourself, because it is without a doubt the most difficult course or type of training that you can do in all of Rocket League. I have tried it many times, and even as a GC/Champ 3, this is a whole new level of difficulty. All right, finally we have a world record from the highest level of Rocket League, RLCS. Now this record comes from the man himself, Fairy Peak, and he actually broke the record for the most amount of goals scored in a single RLCS match. The old record was from Cooks here, who scored 7 goals in a single match all the way back in 2016, and nobody had beaten it. And honestly, I don't think anybody thought that it was gonna be beaten, because like this happened at a different time in Rocket League. RLCS was very different. Certain teams were so dominant. Defense just wasn't as good as it is now, but somehow Fairy managed to score 8 goals against Veloce in one game of Rocket League. Think about that. Think about how hard it is to score 8 goals in just a regular ranked match, but to do it against one of the best teams in the world is just so impressive. I believe he also got the most points ever in an RLCS game from scoring those 8 goals. All right, guys, there you have it. Where there's a will, there is a way, as we see from these players. And when there's a way, you get people that come out and do astonishing things. And you get people like DLG who break multiple world records and do it in a fashion that I feel like nobody else probably will for a very long time. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Again, links to all those people's shots are in the description below, and be sure to let me know down in the comments which record you thought was the craziest, and maybe what records you're surprised nobody has broken yet. Maybe you can go break it. Who knows? All right, guys, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Peace out. Bye.